Hey everyone, my name's Roo and welcome to my channel. This is my first video, my first proper one ever, and it's just a brief description about who I am and what I'm hoping to bring to you, hopefully my future subscribers. I'm 54 years old and unfortunately due to some medical issues I've had to retire early from my job as a work coach at the Department for Work and Pensions, more about which I will speak a little bit later on. I'm not going to go into my reasons for having to be medically retired. Maybe when I've built up a bit of a subscribership and we've got a little bit of a relationship going, I'll have a chat about that and let you know exactly what's going on and why I've had to be medically retired. But it's not the end of my life, and that's what this channel's all about. Having to retire early, or even choosing to retire early, doesn't mean that everything stops. In fact, I'm hoping that this is where life changes and it moves in a different direction. Not necessarily better, not necessarily worse, just different. And I hope that we can go along in this journey together. I want to tell you a little bit about myself. As I said, I'm 54. I'm currently employed, although being medically retired from DWP. I'll start at the beginning though, shall I? Because a lot of people don't believe the stuff I've done, but it's absolutely true. Started off work 16 as a heating and ventilation engineer. Did my City and Guilds, did all the training, worked for that for a few years, and then there was a massive recession and loads of companies went bust, including the one I worked for. So I got a job working for the DHSS, which is the old version, if you like, of DWP, Department for Work and Pensions. So I worked there for quite a few years, and I only left there because I was offered an IT job working with Tesco's. I was there for a few years, 4 or 5 years maybe, at Tesco's doing their IT support in Rainham in Essex. But they moved and they said that they will help me to move, and they'll move us over to this big new office that they've got in Cheshire, I think in Hertfordshire. But I had a young family and I really wasn't interested in moving. After then, because I really didn't like it, working actually in the centre of town, really in the centre of London, was really stressful. I had to travel to Portsmouth and Southampton really a lot and spend weekends and weeks away, again doing IT stuff for P&O Cruises, and in the end I left. It was too stressful. As I said to you, I had a young family and it didn't suit me to do that. So I decided to train to be a driving instructor, and the training is long and it's not easy at all. So bear in mind that for English driving instructors, it really is a tough job. And also you have to work so hard just to get your licenses. So yeah, I was a driving instructor for a few years. And then I actually went on, I had a friend who worked for London Underground Limited, and he was telling me about getting a job as a train guard. So I got in. Again, there was tons of training, because you basically have to know how to get a train moving when it. But London Underground decided that they weren't going to have guards anymore, and so they trained me up to become a train driver. Loved it. Loved the training. I love anything with training. You might see a sort of bit of a pattern that a lot of the things I do or I've done involve lots and lots of training and lots of knowledge. So I became a train driver. I drove on the Northern Line first, so I had to learn how to fix and repair a Northern Line 1959 tube train stock. Then I drove on the Northern Line on the new stock. Then I moved to the Jubilee line and had to learn a new train stock. And then I moved to the District line, and there's 2 more trains that I needed to learn to fix then. And when I say learn to fix, that's literally what a train driver needs to know. They need to know every system, how to isolate brakes, how to open doors, how to do everything in case of emergencies and stuff like that. So there was a ton of learning there for every single tube train. There's so much learning, but I loved it. I loved doing it. Sadly, couldn't work there anymore. They wouldn't allow me to drive trains with only one hand because my left hand is fused. I've got a big metal plate through there, and in case there was a tube train that I needed to drive that needed two hands, a brake and a accelerator, if you like, they had to let me go. Sadly, I mean, now drivers, you can drive with one hand, so I had to leave anyway. So I had some little jobs, doing bits and pieces, some DIY stuff, some making furniture stuff, and I wanted to do hypnotherapy. So I became a clinical hypnotherapist. Now, it sounds so simple, doesn't it? Oh, I became a clinical hypnotherapist. It's a lot of training. So I had to do loads and loads of training. In the end, became a clinical hypnotherapist, had a practice, was running really, really well. Beautiful practice in Wickford in Essex. Sadly, my marriage broke down and I had to move away. I had the hope of setting up a new practice where I moved to, but I didn't have the money. I couldn't afford to set up a new practice, and unfortunately I stopped doing it. I sometimes saw people in their own homes, and I've still got friends and family. If they need help, then I can help them. I've got lots of friends who are hypnotherapists, and it's a fantastic, such a rewarding job. If anyone is thinking about training, do it, get on it, do some training. Just pop me a question and I'm happy to help, and recommend any people, or give you any advice that you might need on that. So I moved back to Essex, and the DWP were hiring people again. So remember, I work for DHSS. Well, it's the same basically company, the same government department, but they're now called Department for Work and Pensions. I worked there as a case manager and learnt everything about universal credit from the back end side, how the rules are, how they work, what qualifications from one benefit will mean you might get more benefit, learning about disability, learning about housing, really lots and lots of information there. And then I got promoted and become a work coach. So there I sort of saw the front end side. So I actually saw customers face to face, dealt with any of their queries, helped them look for work. A work coach's main job really is to get people in work. That's the job. But there's so many sort of ancillary parts of it, because there's things like they've got benefit queries, they might need things verified, and so there's quite a lot. So I've actually seen DWP from both sides. And so I've really gained a load of knowledge. And this is one of the things that I'm going to be discussing later in my YouTube channel, about benefits and what you can claim for, what you can get. So please pop a question down there, ask me about it. If there's anything you want to know, pop it in the questions down there. I do use a lot of industrial language. I'm quite prone to the word bollocks because it's one of the best words in the world. You know, you can say, oh, what a load of bollocks, meaning that's rubbish, or you can say that's the absolute bollocks, meaning it's absolutely brilliant. So that's just one word. So apologies if I've offended you with the word bollocks. There's loads more where that came from. I won't deliberately use it because I'm not like just for the sake of, you know, like a shock factor, but it will slip out sometimes. If I ever drop a C-bomb, I will almost definitely, if I catch it, I will beep it out, because that's one word that I try to avoid a little bit, at least anyway. So a little bit about my channel. Okay, it's called Rue's Early Retirement, and that's basically what it is. It's going to be kind of vlogging, but it's going to be help. It's going to be self-help. I'm going to be talking about DIY. I'm going to be talking about benefits, how to claim them. Going to be talking about getting in shape, because I'm very out of shape. I know that I am. I need to lose a couple of stone, and I'll take you through my journey with that, and also give you some advice on what maybe you can do to get yourself in shape. The main thing for this channel, and it really is probably the most important thing, is don't be alone. Don't be alone. I've been alone for a while, and I know how awful it is. You know, I've got friends, really good friends, but like I might see them a couple of times a year. And other than that, I'm pretty much on my own. I'm really glad I've got family. I've got beautiful daughters and I can see them quite often. But at the end of the day, you're coming back to an empty house, or during the day they're at work. So I'm going to be giving you some ideas of things to do to get out, to get outside, to get some fresh air. Okay, sadly, I don't have a garden. But I'll be showing you some little gardening things that I can do indoors. And I mean little, like really little. I'll be taking you on walks. There's a place just around the corner from me, which is a really nice, it's a bird sanctuary. And if you've seen my shorts, because I have actually already produced a few short videos over the last few days, you'll see that I've been out with my radio control car, which literally I just bought a few days ago. And it's to get me out, and to have fun. And I'll tell you what, this radio control car is so much fun. It's such a laugh, literally. I actually giggle and laugh like a little school kid when I'm out with the RC car. So there's things like that I'm going to show you. Bike rides, I go on often bike rides, and I'm planning on doing the London Surrey 100 again, but this time with my daughter Jackie next year. So I might take you on a few training rides to show you what I'm doing now. I'll be doing some product reviews. I'll be showing you very soon about putting up a shelf. Now I know everyone's put up a shelf before, but this is a bit different. This is a shelf that I've put up, and my cat Odin, my little Savannah, used to climb on it, because I only built them for the cats. All the time. But the other day, Odin and Amari, who's a 10 kilogram Savannah F2, decided to play, and Amari's jumped up on the top shelf and it's come out of the wall. They're only plasterboard walls, so I will actually show you this new fixing I've got, and I'll record it. I've not done it yet, and hopefully you'll go like, wow, I need to get one, or maybe you'll just go like, well, I already knew about that. But that's the kind of things that I'm going to be discussing with you. Hopefully, if you're alone, you know, I'm here. And I'm not just saying it. You drop me a line, we'll have a chat. It's not just about money. Well, actually, it's not about money whatsoever. You know, ages ago, I was thinking about doing a YouTube channel, and I sort of never did it. And I realise now it's just because I didn't have anything to say. Whereas now I do. I've got you, people out there that hopefully become my friends and my followers, you know, and we can discuss stuff. We can talk about retirement. We can talk about money. We can talk about the recession. There's so much stuff that we can go over. And please just drop me a line. Put it in the box underneath, the little chat box, the little message box. Put it in there, and we'll talk about it. You know, you're not alone. I need you to know that you're not alone, because I know what it feels like to think that you are alone. And I'm hoping, and God, it sounds so glib, but I really, really mean it. I'm hoping that you'll end up seeing me as a friend, one who you can sort of have a chat with, one who will discuss anything that you need to discuss. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So anyway, that's enough of me rambling on. This is my first ever video. It's gone on way too long. I'm going to edit it down. Hey, that's something new. That's something that I've never done before. I've never edited a video other than YouTube Shorts. But YouTube Shorts, you pause it and then you film again. And so it's really simple. With this, I'm going to have to edit my medical problem means that sometimes I struggle. So you're going to see a hell of a lot of cuts. So I'm apologising in advance if it's a little bit disconcerting. But hopefully it's worthwhile. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Okay. If you don't like it, tell me why. Put it down in there. Post a comment. Let me know why it's so shit. Or tell me what ideas you want me to talk about. If you really like it, how about subscribing and maybe even ring that little bell? It's funny, isn't it? Because these people on YouTube, they go, oh, push this button, ring this bell, click this link. Like, I ain't got a clue. This is my first video, all right? So please be patient with me. If I can do one of them card things that you click on to subscribe, then I'll do it. All right? I'll see if I can learn to do it. Other than that, look, I wish you love and peace, everyone. Take care, and best wishes to you all.